Okay, so welcome to the latest episode of Tackle News, and in this video we're going to be going over, I guess, two new bait finesse reels coming out of China, as well as a new Daiwa Baitcaster. And the first reel we're going to go over is going to be a reel on AliExpress, and it's been on AliExpress for probably a couple of months now. And if you've been shopping for a bait finesse reel on AliExpress, then surely you've seen this. And this is the Pure Lure Silver Feather. Now the reason I'm going over this reel is because when I checked it out myself, it looked good, but there was somewhat, I guess, I wouldn't call it deceptive, but some trick marketing that I saw that for those people who don't like to really dig into the specs of a reel, you might have seen it and purchased the reel based off of it, and I'm going to show you what I mean here in a second. But here we are at, I guess, the Pure Lure outdoor store, and here's the reel. And we're going to start off by playing, I guess, this little video that they made. Alright, so pretty cool little promotional video. Really makes the reel look good. But let's check out all its features. So that means we're going to scroll down. And this is not the reel. I think that's a different one. Definitely not the spinning reel. And here we go, the Silver Feather. Now the first thing we're going to see is that it weighs 119 grams, and you see that it says plus or minus 1 gram, I guess. And I think this is to, I guess, cover themselves if someone got a reel and put it on a scale and it weighs more than the advertised 119 grams. And they're also doing this with spool weights as well, I've noticed that. So the significance of 119 grams is that if you Google the conversion of 119 grams to ounces, it's like, in fact, I'm going to go ahead and Google it. So yeah, if you look here, 119 grams, according to Google, translates to 4.197 ounces. So that's even lighter than the current, I guess, lightweight kings, which is going to be the Flight Feather, the Flight Feather Cormorant, and the KASTKING Kestrel Elite, which are all just under 4.5 ounces. So somehow they have shaved off 3/10 of an ounce to the weight of this reel, and I'm really not sure where, but let's keep on going. Now here's some more specs. Recommended bait weight 1 to 10 grams. So they're not claiming that this reel can cast, you know, half a gram like some reels out there. Line size, they recommend no lines over 12 pounds if you're using, I guess, fluoro or mono. It's got 2 gear ratios, 7.5 and 8.5 to 1, 11+1 bearings. So this is a Silver Feather 60 Air. So it says, just how small is it? And they say that height wise, I guess the palm side plate is 36 millimeters tall. So if you take your average, I guess, current CURADO 200K spool out and you pull it out, that spool is 34 millimeters tall. So this reel is only 2 millimeters taller than the average, I guess, multi-purpose, general purpose baitcaster spool. Okay, here's some more cool details. It says tapered outlet, not surprising. Carbon fiber body and side cover. Carbon fiber star wrench. I don't know what that is. But you can see the top of the reel is very detailed. A lot of things going on. Ergonomic clutch button. Blah, blah, blah. But now we're going to get to the good stuff. They have a brake system here that doesn't look familiar when you compare it to other reels on AliExpress. They call it the Light Bait Adaptive Magnetic Brake System. So that's a mouthful, but let's dig into it. So just from what I'm looking at, it looks like there's a ring right here that's magnetic. And looking at this illustration, it looks like that ring slots into the center of the spool, just like a Shimano FTB system. And I think maybe that magnetic ring is spring loaded. So this might be a dynamic system because they keep saying that it's adaptive. I could be wrong, but just looking at this illustration, it looks like that ring goes, you know, farther in or farther out of the spool based on, I guess, the external dial setting. But it looks very much like also Daiwa's new SS Air SS Magforce. So it says here, external magnetic adjustment knobs, just the amount of expansion of the magnet module into the spool, adaptive module for automatic micro adjustment of the magnet module, second stage of intervention according to the casting speed, blah blah blah. So according to this, it sounds like it is a dynamic system. New generation of magnetic brake system that is balanced between stability and distance. Okay, so that's always the tough part of designing a brake system, particularly for a bait finesse reel, is having enough brake but not so much brake that it hinders casting performance. Alright, so now we're getting to the spool. It says another breakthrough in the existing process to meet the casting enhancement of light baits. So you can see the spool has no portholes. And you can see it's also 28 millimeters, just like the current crop of JDM Daiwa air reels, as well as the KASTKING current crop of bait finesse reels. Here's where we get to, I guess, I wouldn't call it deceptive marketing, but anyone who just takes a look at this and sees this and just keeps on moving could be deceived into thinking that this spool weighs 2.3 grams. But if you notice, it says bare spool weight is 2.3 grams, combination weight is 4 grams. And they have in parentheses including spindle, bearing, and pin. So basically the 2.3 gram weight is just the, I guess, spool itself, no bearing, no spool shaft, and no pin. And all of this together weighs 4 grams, which is still amazingly light. And it looks like the spool is pretty small. Let's assume that it's about half a gram. You're looking at about a 3.5 gram spool, which matches, you know, the current flight feather and cormorant reel. But this spool is actually 2 millimeters smaller, so on paper it should cast the really light stuff just a little bit easier than even the flight feather and the cormorant reel, at least on paper. So hopefully no one bought this reel already and thought that you were getting a 2.3 gram spool, which would be incredible, and then when you got it at home and weighed it, and it came up to be much heavier. But I almost bought this reel just off of skimming this little picture right here and seeing 2.3 grams. Almost bought it, haven't bought it yet. And then of course they have something called a triple unloading alarm, which is a clicking drag that says new generation of alarm devices is no longer noise. So I don't know what that means, but hopefully that means that these are not the rough, unrefined drag clickers that you find on some of these AliExpress reels. And let's hope this drag clicker is something that's got a pleasant tone and nice and refined. Okay, Here's information about the gears, which is aluminum, no big surprise. And I'm thinking they probably shaved that 0.3 of an ounce by probably making the gear really, really thin. I mean, that's the only other place I could think they could have shaved weight to make this reel this light. And here's something cool, check this out. So you got a nice sculpted carbon fiber handle, and you can really see the quality of the carbon fiber weave there. It's got a very Daiwa-esque shape, as well as a very Daiwa-esque nut retainer and nut. And it comes with these very finesse metal knobs. And they look good in my opinion. Okay, it's nice of them to give you the bearing sizes in case you want to upgrade the bearings. But that bearing looks like it might be hybrid ceramic given the color of the bearing shield, but I could be wrong. Okay, magnetic adjustment on the side, looks good. So overall the reel actually looks good, at least in these pictures. But now let's check it out, I guess, in the sunlight. And in my opinion, you can definitely see that it looks very much like a carbon fiber reel. But here's something you can check out. You can see there's a little window there where you can see where your brake adjustment is. So according to this, it's on 8. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I would not mistake this for a metal frame reel. So look, it's got 6 customer reviews already. Let's read them and check out some of these pictures. At the sale on Black Friday was the most humane price plus a coupon, cashback and coins. I decided to take a flyweight reel, and suddenly he threw the jigsaw 0.4 grams and she threw it. I'm guessing this guy's not from America. I was especially pleased with the delivery. Well, very quickly delivered. If you plan to throw a gram from 2, then this coil will disappoint you, but below 1 gram fire cannon. Alright, so what I get from that review is that this bait will absolutely launch 1 gram lures like the trout magnet, which shouldn't be surprising given the spool weight as well as the smaller spool size. But I'm guessing that if you're trying to throw 2 grams and up, then it's probably gonna disappoint you compared to other bait finesse reels. That's what I'm getting from this one particular review, but the reel looks good. It looks like you get a pretty decent reel cover. And it looks like his handle is not carbon fiber. Looks like some fake DRT handle, but here's another review. Reeling is not smooth compared to price. Bearing cleaning and additional internal grease should be needed. Plastic quality of frame looks a bit cheapy. Bought it during the 11/11 sale, so price was good. So here's everything that he got. Nice looking box. So he definitely weighed the spool, and his spool came out, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it came out at 3.9 grams with the bearing. And then he actually weighed the reel itself, and it came out at 119.3 grams. So it did meet the 119 gram target weight. So this is a extremely lightweight reel. Here's another review. It looks really good. At sea, expectations are great. He sent a picture of his spool, and it weighs 4 grams on the dot. Okay, here's another review. Number 1, the overbrake condition. Number 2, need to buy nickel strip from AliExpress. Number 3, 1.2 gram jig handle worm, cast 20 meters. That's pretty good for 1.2 grams. 2-color emission among 5-color braid reeling. It's very good. Among all the BFS reel used for 10 years is the best. Okay, that's pretty high praise. Unconditional recommendation use, blah blah blah. He sent a picture of the brakes, and it looks like he did exactly what he put in his review. He put a strip of nickel around the brakes. So I guess he's saying that this reel is overbraked in his opinion, or in his experience. Okay, here's another review. Very disappointing reel, overbraked, and the bearings are noisy. I do not recommend. So another accusation of being overbraked. All right, let me scan this real quick. So he's saying he didn't feel it was worth buying at the normal price, but he got his on sale. So the reel looks good in the pictures, right? And he added an edit. He also says that it's overbraked and that I guess tolerances are kind of poor. Keep the brake minimized, spool how it rotates, I change. Alright. So accusations of being overbraked. Now granted, I don't know how tight they had their spool tension or what their bait finesse experience is. But I mean, this is a pretty high spec reel at a pretty high price for a BFS reel that's not even made of metal. As you can see, $136. So let's do this. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this reel and you're kind of hesitant and you're not sure you want to spend this kind of money for an unknown, unproven product. If I get 500 likes on this video, and let me know in the comments if you want me to buy one, then I will. So 500 thumbs up, 500 likes, and let me know in the comment section if you want me to buy one of these and try it out, and we'll see what it's made of. Alright, so that's it for this particular reel, and for the next reel we're gonna have to go away from AliExpress. It's actually on a completely different, I guess, mall type website or online mall type website that they have pretty much several of in China. And this reel is called the Hasda Aurora Micro Air. Now apparently this is on sale in China, but I could not find it on AliExpress. I found a couple of reels that share the same frame but not the exact same reel, but I'm pretty sure it's going to pop up on AliExpress sometime in the future. So that tells you that if you see a new reel pop up on AliExpress, usually it's been on sale in China for probably a few months at least. But let's check this reel out. Check out this promo video. He's trying to do some fancy flip casting in open water. That's what I call poser shit. It's got a imitation megabass rod, a small fish. Now I'm not sure why they don't have bass native to China. Now, according to that video, it's Hasida, not Hasda. But let's check out some of these pictures. So immediately you see 115 grams pop up right in your face. Now 115 grams is 4 ounces on the dot. So that's going to be like a half an ounce lighter than reels like the Flight Feather, the Cormorant, Aldebaran BFS, KASTKING Kestrel Elite. But the thing is, you saw clearly in the video when they put it on the scale, it said 119 grams. So anyway, this is what I was interested in, this pretty cool brake system, which I'll show you guys here in a second. Now I'm going to assume that They're saying that this spool weighs 4.4 grams with the bearing. But anyway, let's scroll down and get into some of the details. Now, I guess this website is called Tmall, but they have like literally multiple AliExpress type websites just for China to sell you a bunch of stuff. Okay, so once again, 115 grams, even though they proved that was wrong in their own video. Now you see 0.4 grams, and I don't know how to read Chinese, but I'm assuming that means that they're claiming this reel can cast down to 0.4 grams. Okay, here's some more stuff about the reel. I see it says brass gear, which is kind of doubtful given the weight of this reel. New spool concept. Blah, blah, blah. Some tools. That has nothing to do with the reel. Alright, so here's the reel out in the daylight. You can see it's clearly two-tone. There's a spool. And once again, I don't read Chinese, but if anyone knows what this says, let us know and type it out in the comments section. It says Aerospace T7 spool. 36 millimeters. So I doubt that's the spool diameter. Oh, it's the height of the reel. So this is pretty much just like that silver feather. I wouldn't be surprised if they're made by the same, I guess, factory. So 36 millimeters is pretty low profile. You can see they're comparing the reel to the weight of an iPhone 13 Pro. 115 grams for this Aurora Air versus 203 grams for the iPhone. It's kind of funny. All right, let's check out these brakes. These brakes are very interesting, and it's the only reason why I'm even showing you guys this reel. But I'm gonna let you guys check it out. All right, so as you can see here, it looks like there are 3 banks of magnets with, I guess, 2 magnets for each bank on this spool hub. There's 1, there's 2, and there's probably 1 right here. And then you see 0, 1, 2, 3, and these little, I guess, adjustment things right here. And in this picture, the adjustment circle is on 1, and in this one it's on 2, and this one it's on 3. So I'm assuming that adjusting this main, I guess, little knob thing will automatically adjust the other 2 bank of magnets. Now I don't know if these bank of magnets are spring loaded, but if you look at this illustration, and if you put the setting to 0, you can see, according to this illustration, the magnets are popped out the farthest, probably giving you the max braking. Then number 1, they are, oh wait, I think I get it now. So on 0, I guess all the magnets are in the same position or popped out. And on 1, it looks like 1 bank of magnets has retracted. And on 2, it looks like 2 bank of magnets are retracted. And on 3, all 3 are retracted. I guess that's going to be your minimum brake setting there. So in my opinion, you know, it should be reversed. 0 should be the lowest brake setting, but you know, whatever. But I do not know if these magnets are spring loaded, making this a dynamic system. But that's kind of a cool brake system there that we haven't seen yet. And some kind of, I don't know, award or patent or something. But the reel, I mean, this two-tone color reminds me of a reel you would see on AliExpress for like 70 bucks. Not saying it looks cheap, but if they were charging like over 100 bucks for this, just by looking at the reel, I would think, yeah, that's not a $100 reel. But you can see it comes with the obligatory tapered line guide. Okay, so the pinion gear is brass while the main gear is aluminum, and it's double bearing supported, as you can see. Looks like it's only going to come in 1 gear ratio. Okay. Assuming that means these are corrosion resistant spool bearings. Only 6+1 bearing count. Here's another interesting feature. So the spool is 22 millimeters wide, but it's only 27 millimeters in diameter. So that makes it 1 millimeter smaller than all of Daiwa's JDM BFS reels, as well as the KASTKING BFS reels. So not surprising, China is the one pushing, I guess, the bait finesse specs farther and farther with each passing generation. Alright, it says exciting drag sound. So I guess that means the drag star adjustment clicks. But you can see it's got a very, I guess, Daiwa STEEZ-esque knob and end cap assembly. You can see they're saying that the knobs are ergonomic. I wonder where they got that from. I wonder what YouTuber has been showing people how certain knobs are ergonomic to your finger. Right, here's another picture. I mean, it's not a bad looking reel. It's just generically good looking. And I think that is it. More Chinese. But yeah, the Aurora Air by Hasida. Not yet available on AliExpress. And if it comes out, that braking system is very intriguing to me. I think I might check it out. But let me know in the comments as well if this reel comes out on AliExpress, if you guys want me to get one and test it out, to test out that new brake system. Now we'll give it to the Chinese. They are coming out with, I guess, their own little innovative brake systems. As you can see with that Silver Feather and now this Aurora Air. That's not just a blatant copy of stuff coming out of Japan. Alright, so now it's time to get to that Daiwa. Well, okay, I thought I was going to be able to show you guys this new Daiwa reel from an official Daiwa website, but apparently it's not going to happen that way. So we're back here on AliExpress. And since we're on AliExpress, if you have guessed that the new Daiwa reel is a Salamandura, you'd be correct. So they added yet another reel to the Salamandura line, so that makes a total of 5. And let's see if we can find this new one. No, it's not on this page. Here we go. The new 23 Daiwa Salamandura SVTW 1000S. And I think these pictures are ripped off from Daiwa China's website, so they're not very high res. But let's scroll down, see if we can get some better pictures. Alright, here's a good one. So, in case you can't tell, this is, I guess, a ZILLION 1000 body painted red. slap on a nice crisply bent carbon fiber handle, put on the old school Daiwa air knobs, and what you do is, if I can find it, well, I thought I was going to be able to show you guys, but it's going to come with a, I guess, 1000 Daiwa shallow spool that has SV boost. So this spool is very similar to, I guess, that 1000 shallow spool that they offered in the STEEZ Limited, and thankfully it's going to have the boost feature. As you can see, these are really low-res pictures that they took off of Daiwa China's website, but the zero adjusters got the salamander logo. There's that carbon fiber handle. There's those old school air Zion knobs. Hyperdrive, all the hyperdrive marketing. And of course you're going to get that Salamandura Ghost logo on the palm side plate. So all the other specs are pretty much standard Zillion 1000, 175 grams. It's going to come in the 7.1 and 8:5 year ratio, 5 kilos of drag. It's going to have, of course, aluminum frame and aluminum handle side plate. And yeah, now it appears AliExpress is the only place that you can buy this reel, and as you can see here, it says $177.65. And believe me, I was shocked as well when I saw that price, but got some bad news for you. That is for the Air reel, that BFS reel based off of the TATULA 80 platform. The price for this SV1000 is $338.39. So when you factor in the fact that AliExpress charges like 10% sales tax or 10% sales tax, this is up there with the Zillion G if you're buying that here from America. And I believe the Zillion 1000 in Japan is like almost $100 cheaper. But if you want that Zillion frame painted red with the carbon fiber handle and the knobs and that shallow spool with SV boost that's probably going to be significantly lighter than the stock spool, then you're going to have to roll with this Salamandura. As you can see, it's available right now on AliExpress. And yeah. Now, before we end this video, I just wanted to say that I do have the Hybo Arise Elite. It's sitting on my desk right now. I'm just waiting to do, I guess, the unboxing video. It's this reel right here. I got the amount of likes I needed on a specific video in order for me to get it, and I'm really excited to check out what this reel is about. So be on the lookout for that in the future. But once again, if you want me to get that Pure Lure Silver Feather, give me a thumbs up and leave a comment, and if I get 500 thumbs ups, I will purchase the reel and share it with you guys. Alright guys, thanks a lot.